Good morning. It's a beautiful morning. It is, I believe it is 6:10 in the morning. I just came from an Amazon run. It was one pick, one drop, 11 pallets, 17 scans. Went pretty well. Didn't have any issues. I was supposed to arrive at the drop off at 6:17, but I was early. I got there around 5:35 and dropped it off. Anyways, I had used Max earlier for that Amazon run, but I wanted to come by and check on the Mini. This is the Mini. This is a 20-foot Freightliner. So I wanted to go ahead and answer some questions that most of you guys have been asking me. And actually, let me grab the other phone so I can answer some of your questions. All right, first question was, what type of trucks do you have? And my trucks are Freightliner M2s. Both of them are Freightliners. M2s 106 and Cummins engine. Kind of love the Cummins engine. This one is the one that has the new engine from Freightliner that I bought. It was about $12,000 for a long block. And you kind of have to pay $16,000 initially so that they can $4,000 for the core and then $12,000 for the engine. Now if you do return the core of the engine, they will refund you the $4,000. So that's what it is. Did have a mechanic who put it in for me, and we're gonna do a pre-trip for this one real quick because I want to start it. We had a mechanic do it for me, and he did it for $5,000, which was pretty good with everything that he had to do, removing it and putting it back in. And as you can tell, this is more of like a bright colored red, so it was painted initially. And it's very clean. I love the Mini truck. I did a truck wash before I parked it here, and I actually need to do one for that one. So for this one, I believe the oil should be pretty decent, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, you can see that. It's full of oil. And and so do you want to touch that? That's all good. And so everything looks good on it. The blade is fine. I don't see any issues with the blade itself. Hoses are good, connections are good. As you can tell, the shocks are new. The brakes are also new. So I did replace all the brakes and the brake chambers on this truck, so it's pretty good. I also did the same for this one as well when I did get it fixed. So they all have new housing. This one has washer fluid. I do need to add for the other one, but yeah, you can tell they're pretty new brakes. And coolant looks good. It's full, no issue there, which is good. Fantastic. We're gonna get it running and see how it sounds, and we'll get back to the questions. The other questions that I got was, what type of e-log app do I use? So for right now, and this is as of this video right now, this one does use Motive, that one uses Garmin, but I am switching that one to Garmin to Motive as well. And the reason why is Garmin is not as friendly as I thought it would be. I was trying to save some money and not have to pay subscription for the ELD, but I think Motive is the best. Now you can negotiate with them to make sure that you can get the best out of your Motive pricing. So I believe the best pricing I got was $40 a month, and I think that's what you should do. I don't have a camera, a dash cam. I will get an aftermarket dash cam, but not for Motive. I'll just get one for myself and not have to worry about paying a subscription for that as well. So let's go ahead and get this bad boy cranked. but I want to make sure I check everything before I do that. Let me grab my little stick in this truck and thump every corner. As you can see, this one is quite neat and clean. Usually when I get trucks, they're usually in a very bad condition, so I tend to clean them out. I'll do the same thing on that one. So far, this one, I've been maintaining it well. So yeah, I think if you maintain your truck, everything should be good. What the heck is this? Some mushrooms or something? That's strange. Alright, those are good. I believe my leaf gate should be okay. Make sure I don't fall. Everything's checking out pretty good. They sound great. So as you can tell, this one has two tanks, one on this side and one on the other side, and this one just has this big one right here. Everything sounds good. So there's this other one right here. So yeah, two tanks on one, and that's it on that one. And we'll go ahead and get it started, and we'll talk outside while it's warming up. Woo! Push the rev real quick. The next question was, how many miles do I have in on my trucks? The mini one has 300 and I believe 11 or 17,000 miles. I'll take a screen grab of that. And this one has 454 miles, 1,000 miles on it. This one with the new engine probably has less than 50,000 miles on it. Yeah, I believe it's less than 50,000 miles on it. I will be changing the engine for this again later on in the future, but probably within 2 years. I think within 2 years I should, give or take, if it's on the road, add 200,000 miles on it. If it's not on the road, it's probably gonna be 100 or so. Yeah, and that should be good for it. The other question I have is, how are the rates? Let's talk about that real quick. Rates are bad. Rates are really bad. And when I say bad, I mean if you're seeing a box truck rate for $1.37 miles, it's bad. But now, how bad are they for me? I think for me, generally, they're not that bad. I can be profitable with $1.37 per mile. I can be profitable, but I choose not to go that route. I try to get as close as $2 a mile, and that's when I'm at OTR. When I'm doing Amazon, I try to be at the lowest at 2.2 a mile. Fun fact is that on average when I do Amazon, because when you're doing Amazon, you tend to deadhead from the pickup location, or when you drop off, you tend to deadhead back to your home. So on average, I try to be at 1.7 a mile when I'm doing Amazon, total miles when I'm doing Amazon. So since I own my trucks, I don't have an issue with having to worry about how much mileage I'm using and not mileage, sorry. I mean, if I'm being profitable or not. I try my best to stay on budget and be as lean as possible. And knowing my cost per mile, it's very low as I'm driving them. Now, if I do hire a driver, there's more to it. So I will. The cost per mile goes up, but for me as my own self and the fixed costs, everything is very low. Variable cost depends on where I'm picking up the load from and dropping it off. If it's Amazon or if it's OTR, it varies. So yeah. One person had requested me to show you guys my iPad mount, so let's go inside the little mini truck and I'll show you that iPad mount, and then I'll also leave the mounts themselves in the description so you guys can have a look. All right, so this is one of the iPad mounts. It's actually my favorite iPad mount, and the reason why I have it I have it mounted on the dash itself. As you can see, I have some 4 bolts on it and it holds pretty well. Now, one thing I like about this mount is it doesn't shake as much because it's mounted on the dash of the truck, and which I really love about it. They're both from the same company, so I'll show you the other one in a few. But since we're here, I might as well show you the inverter that I use. This is the inverter that I use. I'll also drop it in the description below. So I have one here and one underneath the fire extinguisher as well. And why I have 2 is so that I'm able to, if I have more electronics, like sometimes I may have to carry a cooler that uses one of the outlets, so I would like to put it on the inverter so everything is good and is in good shape. I think the reason why I have a flashing ABS is because I haven't driven this truck. And also, just to confirm to you guys, the truck has 14,000 miles on this one, so it's not that much on it. But yeah, again, this is my favorite truck. I guess it's because I have kept it well, and I really make sure that I don't misuse my trucks. Now, when you have drivers, they tend to do crazy things on your vehicle. So I always want to let people who drive for others to just take care of their vehicles, because I always believe that if you take care of a car, it will take, I mean, a car or a van or a truck, it will take care of you. So I'm a good advocate for taking care of other people's vehicles. Now, on this one, I do have 2 split cables. I used to have an iPad. They used to use a lightning cable, like lightning port, for example. So, but I did upgrade the iPad to a iPad 15. No, not 15. Oh my goodness. iPad Air 5th gen. And let's go to the other truck, which is messy because I was with it. So uses the iPad. This is the iPad Air 5th gen. It does all the good stuff that I needed to do. And then this one has a different mount. So you can see I'm using a suction cup on this one. I noticed that this has a nice smooth place on it, so I wanted it to be low so it doesn't obstruct my visibility here. Some of these things I'm gonna do, fix the cosmetics on this. I think it just needs a little touch up, and then also replace some of this vinyl that is peeling out and make it all nice and juicy. Oh, great. I do have another little tech thing here I tend to use to cool myself. This truck, this one specifically, doesn't have AC on it that is working, so we need to fix that. And then the mileage on this one is 454,000 miles on it. I believe that's the original engine on it, so when I do put a new engine, then that's going to be different. The camera that I use is a DJI Osmo Pocket 3. That's what I'm using right now to film. It's a pretty good camera, can't really complain. And then I also do have some GoPros that I tend to use, and also have a DJI drone that I tend to use. Yeah, and I believe that's pretty much it. I don't think I have any other things I wanted to add, and yeah. So in all, that's pretty much it. That's the two trucks side by side. As one, as you can tell, one is cleaner than the other one for now. The other one needs to go to the truck wash to get it washed. I would probably plan to do that, but for right now, they're money making machines. Yeah. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. I do appreciate all the questions and the comments that you guys are leaving, and I hope that I'm able to answer as many questions that you guys may have. Yeah, somebody asked me where can you buy a truck. I think right now you could check pretty much Penske used trucks. You could check RB. You can just check everywhere. I think one of the best things that we all have is the tool like Google, where you can just search and see what equipment is out there. Don't be shy to give a call to somebody who has a truck that they're selling and you feel like it's too cheap. Give it a call. Get a mechanic, go out there and check it out and see if it's something that you can manage with it. With that said, have a good one. Stay blessed. I'm gonna go ahead and go to church now. All right, see you guys. Thanks.